Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie August Rush from 2007, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. There's a rare kind of magic that happens when music and story entwine so deeply that they feel like two halves of the same heartbeat. This film is one of those stories, a shimmering tale about connection, destiny, and the invisible threads that bind us. It's a movie that sweeps you into a world where music is more than sound. It's a language that transcends words, a force that can reveal the deepest truths of the human soul. It's a journey that invites us to listen closely, to the melodies around us, to the longings in our hearts, and to the chance encounters that shape our lives. The story follows a boy born from love and loss, whose life becomes an unfolding symphony of hope and resilience. From the very beginning, the film captures that magical space where music breathes life into silence, where a child's first cry is not just a sound but a note in the grand composition of the universe. It's the tale of a child gifted with an extraordinary ear, a boy who hears the world's hidden harmonies and uses them to navigate a world both vast and daunting. Raised amidst the sprawling, humming cityscape, his quest is not simply to find his parents but to discover the music that connects them all. At its core, this narrative is a story about family, both the one given and the one chosen, and the invisible forces that draw people together despite distance and circumstance. It's about how our passions and talents can become guides, helping us find our way home in the most unexpected ways. The journey is layered with moments of joy, sorrow, and wonder, each scene punctuated by the music that feels like the pulse of the story itself. The city is more than a backdrop. It's an orchestra of life, each street and corner playing its own tune in the grand score of destiny. The plot spins a captivating web around the boy's early life, from his miraculous birth in the heart of a chance encounter, to the separation that thrusts him into the care of strangers. His mother, a gifted cellist, and his father, a passionate guitarist, become distant notes that echo through his life. Raised in an orphanage, the boy, named after the month in which he was born, nurtures an uncanny ability to hear and replicate music, an ability that sets him apart and becomes both his gift and his compass. His fingers trace invisible strings. Every sound in the city becomes a thread in the tapestry of his identity. What follows is a breathtaking odyssey through the bustling streets and concert halls of New York City, as the boy escapes his confines, determined to follow the music that calls him. Along the way, he encounters characters who shape his path, some offering friendship and guidance, others presenting challenges that test his resolve. The film's narrative dances between the ethereal and the concrete, weaving scenes of dazzling musical performances with moments of quiet reflection and raw emotion. It's a world where the line between dreams and reality blurs, and where the city's heartbeat syncs with the boy's own. The story's pulse quickens as the boy's talent draws the attention of a mysterious and charismatic mentor, a street musician whose lessons are as much about life as about music. This mentor becomes a pivotal figure, helping the boy harness his gift and face the obstacles before him. Their relationship unfolds with a mix of tenderness and tension, reflecting the complex bonds formed in the crucible of survival and aspiration. Music here is a lifeline, a language of belonging amid isolation. Amid the boy's quest, the film reveals the parallel journeys of his parents, each searching for the other in a city of strangers. Their lives, marked by the heartbreak of loss and the yearning for reunion, unfold with poetic grace. The mother's haunting cello melodies and the father's passionate guitar riffs become leitmotifs, guiding the narrative toward an inevitable, poignant convergence. The film captures these moments with a delicate touch, allowing silence and sound to converse in a dance of memory and hope. Key elements of the story revolve around the idea that music is not just art but a form of communication that transcends barriers. The boy's journey is framed by this philosophy. His ability to hear the city's song becomes a metaphor for intuition, faith, and the unseen connections that link us all. The film challenges us to listen more deeply, to recognize that beneath the noise of life lies a harmony waiting to be discovered. The emotional weight of the story is carried with a gentle hand, avoiding melodrama in favor of authenticity. It's a tale where hope is fragile but fierce, where dreams flicker like candlelight in the dark, and where the smallest moments, a shared melody, a glance across a crowded room, can change the course of a life. The film's climactic moments bring the tension of separation and reunion to a crescendo, weaving music and emotion into a tapestry that feels both intimate and epic. Major twists ripple through the narrative with subtlety and grace. The boy's discovery of his true identity is a revelation not just for him but for the audience, unfolding in scenes charged with anticipation and quiet awe. The intersecting paths of the characters create a mosaic of longing and fulfillment, underscored by the music that binds them. The resolution is less about neat conclusions and more about the beauty of connection, the unspoken understanding that family, love, and art are forces beyond control yet profoundly powerful. This is a film that lingers long after the final note fades, a reminder that life's most meaningful journeys often begin with a single sound, a simple melody that guides us through the unknown. Whether you come for the heartwarming story, the stirring music, or the enchanting performances, you'll find yourself swept up in a cinematic symphony that celebrates the enduring power of hope and the magic of finding your voice. So, if you're ready to explore a story where every heartbeat resonates with song, where the city's hum becomes a soundtrack to destiny, and where the invisible threads of love and talent pull a young boy toward his destiny, then this is the story for you. Let's dive deep into the music and mystery of a tale that reminds us all that sometimes, to find where you belong, you just have to listen. The story begins with a quiet night full of promise and unforeseen destiny. At its center is a young couple, Lila, a gifted cellist whose music is woven from the deepest parts of her soul, and Louis, a passionate street guitarist whose melodies speak of dreams and raw emotion. Their lives intersect in a serendipitous moment beneath the city lights, a chance encounter charged with the electricity of new beginnings. The night blooms with possibility, yet beneath the magic lies an undercurrent of hardship and the unspoken fears that accompany their love. Lila's world is one of classical discipline and artistic aspiration, shaped by her studies and the music that has been her refuge since childhood. Her cello is an extension of herself, capable of conveying emotions too profound for words. Louis, on the other hand, inhabits the vibrant, unpredictable realm of the city streets, where music is survival and expression all at once. His guitar strings carry the stories of a life lived on the margins, marked by both hardship and unyielding hope. Though from different worlds, their shared language of music draws them together, a melody that transcends their disparate paths. Fate intervenes with a suddenness that is both cruel and poignant. The young lovers are separated by forces beyond their control. A tragic accident during the night shatters their brief union, tearing them apart before the promise of their future can be fulfilled. In the chaos that follows, Lila gives birth to a son, a child destined to inherit the echoes of their passion, yet he is left orphaned and alone. This moment of loss sets the story's heart beating, a call to a journey that is as much about survival as it is about connection. The boy, named August by the orphanage staff, grows up surrounded by strangers but blessed with an extraordinary gift, an uncanny ability to hear the music of the world in ways others cannot. His ears catch the whispers of the wind, the rhythm of the city streets, and the faintest notes drifting through the air. Music is not just sound to him. It is a language, a map, and a guiding force. Raised in an orphanage that cannot contain his spirit or his talent, August escapes into the city's embrace, determined to follow the melodies that call him. As he wanders the sprawling urban landscape, August encounters a diverse cast of characters who shape his path. Some are kind-hearted strangers who recognize the boy's gift and offer support, while others represent the harsh realities of street life, exploitation, danger, and the struggle to survive. His journey is a delicate balance between innocence and resilience, wonder and the hard edges of the world. The city itself becomes a character, its sounds and rhythms weaving through August's life like a symphony, reflecting both its beauty and its brutality. Among the figures who cross his path is an enigmatic street musician known simply as Wizard, a mentor whose own story is shadowed by loss and longing. Recognizing August's talent, Wizard offers guidance, teaching him to channel his gift into music that touches the hearts of all who listen. Their relationship is complex, at times nurturing, at others fraught with tension, yet it becomes the crucible in which August's raw ability is honed into something extraordinary. Through Wizard, August learns not only about music but about the courage and persistence required to pursue one's destiny. Parallel to August's journey, the film follows Lila and Louis as their separate lives unfold, each haunted by memories and the longing for the child they lost. Lila's world is a blend of music and solitude, her cello expressing the depths of her hope and heartbreak. Louis's path takes him through the city's vibrant, sometimes harsh musical underground, his guitar serving as both voice and solace. Their stories move in silent counterpoint, threaded with moments that hint at fate's relentless pull. August's music becomes a beacon in the city, drawing attention and stirring emotions in those who hear him. His compositions, born from the sounds around him and the echoes of his parents' legacy, weave a tapestry that speaks to universal themes of love, loss, and belonging. The film captures these moments with a poetic sensibility, allowing music to carry the weight of story where words falter. His performances, whether on the subway platform or the grand stage, become milestones in his journey, markers of growth and connection. Tensions arise as August faces obstacles, both external and internal. The street can be unforgiving, and the allure of exploitation lurks beneath the surface of opportunity. The mentor who guides him harbors secrets, and the boy's search for identity is shadowed by uncertainty and the fear of abandonment. These challenges test August's resolve, forcing him to confront not only the harshness of his environment but also the doubts within himself. Amid these trials, moments of serendipity and revelation light the way. Encounters with kind souls, fleeting glimpses of his parents, and the discovery of his own voice all propel August forward. The narrative's pacing balances these intimate moments with the broader sweep of the city's rhythms, allowing the audience to feel the pulse of life that shapes the boy's destiny. As the first arc of the story unfolds, it becomes clear that August's journey is more than a quest for reunion. It is an exploration of the power of music to transcend circumstance, heal wounds, and forge connections. His ability to hear the world differently sets him apart, but it also makes him a bridge between past and present, between brokenness and hope. This opening segment builds to a crescendo of emotional and narrative tension. August's performances gain wider recognition, drawing him into the orbit of people who can alter his fate. The threads of his parents' lives edge closer to convergence, and the invisible forces of destiny seem to guide each step. The boy's talent and determination set the stage for the revelations and reunions that await, promising a journey that is as uplifting as it is heartrending. In essence, the first part of the story is a masterful blend of magic realism and grounded emotion. It invites viewers to listen to the music around them and the subtle harmonies of human connection. It paints a portrait of a boy whose gift is both a blessing and a beacon, illuminating the path toward love, family, and the music that lives within us all. The story moves forward on the currents of hope and the intricate dance of fate, deepening its emotional resonance as the boy's journey takes on new dimensions. What began as a solitary quest in the sprawling city now unfolds into a tapestry of intertwined lives, hidden truths, and the enduring power of music to bridge gaps that seem insurmountable. The second arc of the tale carries us through moments of revelation and reckoning, where the quiet melodies of longing give way to the symphony of reunion and self-discovery. As August's reputation as a musical prodigy grows, so too does the complexity of the forces surrounding him. The mentor who once guided him reveals a darker side, complicating the narrative with tension and betrayal. Wizard, once a figure of support, becomes a symbol of exploitation cloaked in the guise of care. His control over August's career brings moments of conflict, as the boy struggles to assert his own voice amid pressures that threaten to stifle his creativity and freedom. This dynamic serves as a reminder that the path to fulfillment is rarely smooth, often fraught with obstacles disguised as opportunities. August's internal battle intensifies. His yearning to connect with the parents he has never truly known drives him, yet the fear of rejection and the scars of abandonment weigh heavily. The music he creates becomes a language through which he attempts to communicate across the invisible divides of separation. The film portrays these emotional landscapes with sensitivity, allowing silence and sound to converse, and inviting viewers into the depths of August's soul. His performances evolve from mere displays of talent to acts of profound personal expression, each note a plea, a story, a step toward healing. Parallel to August's growth, the narrative turns its focus to Lila and Louis, whose separate lives carry the ache of loss and the flicker of hope. Lila's music becomes both her sanctuary and her message to the unseen son she longs to find. The cello's voice carries across time and space, a haunting echo that lingers in quiet moments. Louis, too, is drawn into the city's vibrant music scene, his guitar telling stories of love and yearning. Their lives, though fragmented, pulse with the same rhythm as August's, hinting at the inevitability of reunion. The city itself remains a living, breathing character, its streets and sounds weaving through the narrative like threads of a grand composition. The cacophony of urban life transforms into a symphony of connection, where chance encounters and subtle signs guide the characters closer together. The film's cinematography captures this interplay beautifully, using light, shadow, and movement to reflect the characters' emotional states and the shifting tides of fate. A pivotal moment arrives when August's talents bring him before audiences far beyond the city's underground. His performances on grand stages mark milestones not just of career but of identity. Yet, amid the applause and acclaim, the boy's heart remains tethered to a deeper quest, the search for family, for belonging. The contrast between public success and private longing adds layers of complexity to the narrative, highlighting the sacrifices and paradoxes of the artistic life. The narrative tension heightens as the paths of the three central characters, Auguste, Lila, and Louis, begin to converge. Unbeknownst to them, invisible strings pull tighter, and the music that once carried their separate dreams now becomes the bridge between past and present. The film carefully orchestrates moments of near encounters, glances exchanged across crowded rooms, and melodies heard in unexpected places, each a note in the build-up to revelation. The film's climax unfolds in a scene rich with symbolism and emotional power. A concert hall becomes the stage not only for musical performance but for the culmination of longing and discovery. Here, the boy's gift and his parents' hopes intertwine, the music a language that finally transcends words and time. The reunion, though not without its complexities, is portrayed with grace and poignancy, capturing the bittersweet beauty of family reunited after years of separation. This resolution is not presented as a tidy happy ending but as a moment of profound human truth, a testament to the resilience of love and the healing power of connection. The characters face the challenge of rebuilding relationships and forging new understandings, acknowledging the scars of their journeys while embracing the possibilities ahead. The music that once separated them now unites, echoing a theme that runs throughout the film, that art and love are forces capable of bridging the widest divides. Throughout this second phase, the film maintains a delicate balance between the magic of music and the realism of human emotion. It navigates themes of hope, loss, and the search for identity with sensitivity, avoiding sentimentality while embracing the depth of feeling. The city's pulse, its sounds, rhythms, and surprises, remains integral, a reminder that life's most profound connections often emerge from the ordinary and the unexpected. In the final scenes, the film offers a meditation on destiny and choice. While the characters' lives have been shaped by circumstance and chance, their decisions, whether to embrace forgiveness, to pursue dreams, or to open their hearts, define their futures. The story closes on a note of harmony, suggesting that while life's melody may be complex and sometimes discordant, it holds the promise of resolution and grace. This concluding arc brings the narrative full circle, affirming the film's central message, that music is more than sound. It is a force that connects souls, heals wounds, and reveals the invisible threads that bind us all. The boy's journey from orphan to artist, from loneliness to reunion, resonates as a universal story of hope and the enduring power of love. In sum, the unfolding of this part of the story is a rich, emotionally charged symphony that combines the thrill of discovery with the depth of human experience. It invites viewers to listen not just with their ears but with their hearts, to recognize that in the harmony of connection lies the true magic of life. The heartbeat of this film lies not merely in its sweeping story or stirring melodies but in the vibrant, multifaceted characters who inhabit its world, their dreams, their struggles, their complexities. Each character embodies themes that echo through the narrative: loss and hope, identity and belonging, the transformative power of music and love. Through their journeys, we explore not just a tale of reunion but a meditation on the human spirit's capacity to endure, to connect, and to create meaning amid chaos. At the center is August Rush himself, the boy whose extraordinary gift defines his path. August is a character marked by a rare combination of innocence and determination. His story is one of a child born into separation yet driven by an unyielding instinct to reunite with his roots. From the earliest scenes, his unique ability to perceive the music of the world sets him apart. He hears melodies where others hear only noise, a metaphor for seeing beyond the surface, for finding beauty and connection in unexpected places. August's character is shaped by a duality: the fragility of his youth and the strength of his talent. Despite the hardships of orphanhood and the dangers of street life, his resilience shines through. His music becomes both armor and language, a way to communicate the unspeakable, to bridge the distances that divide him from his parents and from himself. This duality invites viewers into a poignant exploration of vulnerability and courage, showing how gifts can both isolate and empower. His innocence is never sentimentalized. Rather, it is portrayed with honesty. August's encounters with the world are filtered through the purity of his musical perception, yet he must navigate challenges that test his trust and resolve. The complexity of his character grows as he learns to assert his voice, confront betrayal, and embrace his destiny. His journey is one of growth, not just as a musician, but as a son, a friend, and a young man discovering his place in the world. Lila Novacek, August's mother, emerges as a character of grace and strength, her life a poignant counterpoint to her son's. As a gifted cellist, Lila embodies passion and discipline, channeling her emotions through her music. Her character reflects themes of longing and sacrifice. The loss of her child is a wound that shapes her existence, fueling both sorrow and hope. Lila's music becomes a language of remembrance and faith, her cello's voice echoing across the narrative as a symbol of enduring love. Lila's portrayal is layered. She is not merely a grieving mother, but a woman whose artistry is intertwined with her identity. Her struggle to hold on to hope despite profound loss adds emotional depth, highlighting the tension between absence and presence. Through Lila, the film explores the ways in which art can serve as both refuge and connection, a means of keeping love alive across distance and time. Lewis Connolly, August's father, offers a compelling study of passion and perseverance. His character is a street musician whose life is shaped by music and by the yearning for family. Lewis is portrayed as a dreamer, a man whose devotion to his craft and to his lost love sustains him through hardship. His guitar becomes a voice of longing, a narrative thread that weaves his story with those of Lila and August. Lewis's journey reflects themes of loss, redemption, and the search for belonging. His path is marked by moments of despair and hope, his music a testament to resilience. Lewis's journey reflects themes of loss, redemption, and the search for belonging. His path is marked by moments of despair and hope, his music a testament to resilience. His character brings balance to the narrative, embodying the raw, earthy rhythms of street life and the transformative power of art. The emotional resonance of his performances connects deeply with audiences, making his story a vital part of the film's emotional architecture. The enigmatic wizard, August's mentor, presents a more complicated figure. He embodies the harsh realities of survival and ambition in the city's underworld. While his guidance is instrumental in shaping August's talent, Wizard's character also represents exploitation and control. This duality creates tension, challenging the boy's innocence and forcing him to confront the cost of his dreams. Wizard's complexity adds a layer of moral ambiguity to the film. He is neither wholly villain nor hero but a man shaped by circumstance, his actions a reflection of survival in a world that often punishes vulnerability. His relationship with August is fraught with power dynamics that underscore themes of freedom and manipulation. Through Wizard, the narrative explores the shadows that can accompany talent and ambition. Supporting characters enrich the story's texture. The orphanage staff, street performers, and other city dwellers populate August's world with diversity and depth. Each brings their own struggles and kindnesses, shaping the boy's experience and underscoring the film's theme of found family. These characters highlight the intersection of hardship and humanity, illustrating how community can emerge in the most unlikely places. The interplay among characters illuminates key themes. The fractured family, the separated parents and their lost son, embodies the pain of disconnection but also the hope of reunion. Their musical dialogues, though unspoken at times, form the emotional core of the film. The evolving bond between August and Wizard explores trust and betrayal, growth and control. The connections with friends and strangers on the street reveal the ways in which love and support can sustain even the most fragile souls. Visually, character development is reflected through costume and performance. August's transition from orphanage clothing to the attire of a performing musician parallels his growth from lost child to confident artist. Lila's elegant concert dress contrasts with the simplicity of Lewis's street musician garb, highlighting social and emotional divides bridged by love and music. The actors' performances, marked by subtle gestures and expressive faces, convey the internal struggles and hopes that words often fail to capture. Emotionally, the film invites audiences to experience the characters' joys and sorrows intimately. August's moments of discovery, Lila's quiet strength, Lewis's passionate yearning, all resonate with authenticity and depth. The characters are crafted with care, avoiding clichés to present fully realized individuals whose journeys reflect universal human experiences. Critically, the characters have been praised for their complexity and relatability. The lead actor's portrayal of August captures the innocence and intensity of youth, while the performances of Lila and Lewis offer emotional gravitas and warmth. Wizard's character provides a counterbalance, adding tension and moral complexity. Together, the ensemble creates a rich emotional tapestry that elevates the narrative. Ultimately, the characters are more than figures in a story. They are vessels of meaning and emotion, inviting viewers into a world where music is both literal and metaphorical language. Their journeys illuminate themes of loss, hope, identity, and the power of connection. Through their eyes, the film becomes a meditation on the enduring human quest to find voice, family, and belonging in a world that often seems indifferent yet brimming with possibility. The making of this film is a story as compelling and intricate as the narrative it tells, a tale filled with surprising twists, unexpected moments, and fascinating anecdotes that enrich our understanding and appreciation of the final work. Behind the polished scenes and soaring melodies lies a production shaped by creativity, perseverance, and serendipity, where the extraordinary often emerged from the everyday, and where the magic of cinema was crafted through both meticulous planning and happy accidents. These strangest facts and behind-the-scenes stories offer a glimpse into the world where art and reality entwined, revealing the human spirit behind the spectacle. One of the most remarkable aspects of the production was the decision to center the story so deeply around music, not just as a backdrop but as a living, breathing character. This choice required an unusual level of musical expertise and authenticity, prompting the filmmakers to collaborate with some of the finest musicians and composers. The score, crafted by a renowned composer, became a character in its own right, weaving through the narrative with emotional nuance and thematic resonance. However, the journey to find the perfect musical voice for the film was fraught with challenges and experimentation, involving multiple compositions and revisions before settling on the melodies that now define the movie. The young actor portraying the protagonist was not a trained musician when cast, a fact that surprised many. His natural affinity for music, however, made him a perfect fit, and he underwent extensive training to master the instruments central to his character. This immersive preparation went beyond learning notes and rhythms. It was about embodying the physicality and emotion of a prodigy, channeling the passion and vulnerability of a child whose life is intertwined with sound. The intensity of this training sometimes led to moments of exhaustion and frustration, but also to breakthroughs that enhanced his performance's authenticity. Filming on location presented its own set of peculiar challenges. The bustling urban environments that served as the story's backdrop were alive with unpredictability. Noises, crowds, and the city's own rhythms sometimes clashed with the controlled needs of the production. One memorable incident involved a street performance that unexpectedly drew a massive crowd during shooting, forcing the crew to adapt quickly and incorporate the spontaneous energy into the scene. Such moments underscored the film's themes of connection and serendipity, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. A particularly unusual story comes from the casting of the mentor figure, a character whose blend of charm and menace was vital to the story's tension. The actor selected brought a mysterious aura to the role, but his own background added layers of intrigue. He had a history far removed from Hollywood glamour, with a life story that mirrored some of the mentor's complexities. This real-world resonance informed his portrayal, infusing the character with authenticity and depth that surprised even the director. On set, his interactions with the young lead were marked by a mix of camaraderie and intensity, reflecting the complicated dynamics at play in their relationship. Costume design incorporated unexpected sources of inspiration, blending historical research with contemporary influences to create looks that felt timeless yet fresh. Designers experimented with fabrics and textures to convey character traits visually: the roughness of street life, the refinement of concert halls, the faded elegance of past glories. Some pieces required innovative construction techniques to allow for the physical demands of performance scenes, leading to creative solutions that balanced practicality with artistic vision. One of the strangest behind-the-scenes tales involves the use of animals on set, particularly a dog that appeared during several key scenes. Originally unplanned, the dog's presence added a layer of warmth and spontaneity that resonated with cast and crew alike. Its unexpected antics lightened the mood during long shoots, becoming a kind of unofficial mascot. The filmmakers ultimately embraced this serendipity, incorporating the dog's appearances into the narrative fabric where possible. Sound recording brought its own surprises. Capturing the subtlety of live musical performances in the varied settings, whether a quiet subway platform or a grand concert hall, required innovative techniques. Sound engineers developed specialized microphones and recording methods to isolate the nuances of acoustic instruments amid ambient noise. The challenge was not merely technical but artistic, preserving the emotional intensity and authenticity of the performances while fitting seamlessly into the cinematic experience. Editing the film's musical sequences demanded a delicate balance between visual rhythm and auditory flow. Editors worked closely with the composer and sound designers to ensure that cuts enhanced the emotional impact without disrupting the music's natural progression. This process involved countless iterations, with scenes reshaped and retimed to match the evolving score. The collaboration was intense and meticulous, reflecting the film's commitment to integrating music and story in a way that felt organic and powerful. The director's approach to storytelling was characterized by a blend of precision and openness to improvisation. On set, actors were encouraged to explore their characters deeply, sometimes deviating from the script to capture spontaneous moments of emotion. This willingness to embrace the unexpected resulted in performances that felt fresh and alive, capturing the unpredictability of real human experience. Several iconic scenes emerged from such improvisations, becoming highlights that defined the film's emotional core. Marketing the film presented unique challenges as well. The story's blend of fantasy, music, and drama defied easy categorization, requiring creative strategies to reach diverse audiences. Promotional campaigns emphasized the film's emotional resonance and musical spectacle, crafting trailers and materials that invited viewers into its world of magic and longing. The use of live performances and collaborations with musicians helped build anticipation, creating a buzz that extended beyond traditional film circles. The film's release sparked a wave of audience engagement that went beyond box office numbers. Viewers shared stories of how the film's music and themes touched their lives, inspiring personal reflections and creative pursuits. Community screenings and musical events became spaces for connection, echoing the film's message about the power of art to unite. This grassroots response added a layer of cultural significance, cementing the film's place as more than entertainment, a source of inspiration and dialogue. Trivia enthusiasts delight in the fact that several scenes were shot using vintage musical instruments, some dating back centuries. These instruments brought unique tonal qualities and textures that enriched the soundtrack's authenticity. Their care and handling required specialized expertise, and their inclusion reflects the production's dedication to honoring musical heritage. Another fascinating detail is the film's subtle use of color to reflect emotional states and character arcs. The palette shifts, from muted tones in scenes of loss and isolation to vibrant hues in moments of connection and hope, serve as a visual symphony complementing the narrative. This thoughtful design choice adds depth to the viewing experience, inviting attentive audiences to engage with the story on multiple sensory levels. In sum, the strangest facts about this film's making reveal a production alive with creativity, challenge, and unexpected beauty. The convergence of musical passion, cinematic artistry, and human resilience created a work that resonates beyond its frame. These behind-the-scenes stories remind us that the magic of cinema is born not only from scripts and cameras but from the collective heart and soul of those who bring a story to life, often through moments of surprise, serendipity, and sheer determination. The film unfolds as a delicate interplay of sound and silence, hope and despair, connection and loss, weaving a narrative that invites viewers not merely to observe but to listen deeply, to the rhythms of life, to the quiet pulses of human emotion, and to the resonant chords of destiny. Its significant events do not function merely as plot points. They serve as emotional and thematic fulcrums, each one layered with meaning and rich with opportunities for critical reflection. These moments, carefully crafted and powerfully performed, anchor the film's impact and shape its reception, allowing it to resonate across cultures and generations. From the outset, the birth of the protagonist emerges as a symbolic and literal genesis, a moment pregnant with possibility and loss. This event is not merely a narrative starting point but a profound statement on creation, separation, and the intertwined nature of love and tragedy. The way the film frames this scene, balancing the fragility of new life with the sudden rupture of family, sets a tone of bittersweet beauty that permeates the entire story. Critically, this moment introduces central themes: the vulnerability of human connection and the unpredictable forces that shape destiny. The boy's early life in the orphanage marks a crucial phase, highlighting themes of abandonment and resilience. His unique ability to hear and interpret music elevates his experience beyond the ordinary, yet his environment remains fraught with hardship and isolation. This juxtaposition invites viewers to consider the tension between innate talent and circumstantial limitation. The depiction of the orphanage, with its blend of care and constraint, raises questions about societal structures and the spaces that nurture or stifle potential. Critically, the film challenges audiences to empathize with those caught at the margins and to recognize the transformative power of art even in bleak circumstances. August's escape into the city is a pivotal narrative shift, one rich with symbolic weight. The urban landscape, alive with sounds both chaotic and sublime, becomes a crucible for transformation. His journey through the streets and subways is portrayed as a rite of passage, a physical and spiritual odyssey towards self-discovery. The film's use of the city as both setting and character reflects broader themes of belonging and alienation. From a critical perspective, this phase highlights the film's engagement with the complexities of urban life, the interplay of opportunity and danger, community and anonymity. The introduction of the mentor figure, Wizard, adds a layer of moral complexity and narrative tension. Wizard embodies themes of exploitation and survival, his mentorship a double-edged sword that both nurtures and constrains. This dynamic invites critical examination of power relationships within artistic communities and the precarious balance between guidance and control. The film's nuanced portrayal avoids simplistic villainy, instead presenting Wizard as a figure shaped by circumstance, reflecting the ambiguity inherent in human motivations. This relationship is central to the film's emotional texture, underscoring the challenges faced by young talents navigating uncertain worlds. Parallel to August's journey are the unfolding stories of his parents, Lila and Louis, whose paths are marked by longing and the search for reunion. Their narratives explore themes of loss, hope, and the enduring bonds of family. Lila's life, steeped in classical music and restrained sorrow, contrasts with Louis's raw, streetwise existence. This duality enriches the film's thematic scope, illustrating how disparate worlds can be connected through shared love and destiny. Critics have noted how these parallel narratives deepen the emotional resonance, creating a mosaic of perspectives on grief and faith. Key musical events serve as emotional climaxes and thematic signposts throughout the film. August's performances, whether on street corners or grand stages, are not mere displays of talent but profound acts of communication. They function as moments of revelation and connection, breaking down barriers and forging links across space and time. The film's sound design and score enhance these scenes, intertwining auditory and visual elements to create immersive emotional experiences. Critically, these performances embody the film's central thesis, that music is a universal language capable of healing and transformation. The film's climactic reunion scene stands as a powerful synthesis of narrative and theme. The convergence of the three central characters, brought together by music and fate, is rendered with emotional subtlety and dramatic grace. This moment transcends conventional resolutions, emphasizing not only reunion but the complexity of rebuilding relationships fractured by time and circumstance. Critics have praised this scene for its restraint and depth, noting how it avoids melodrama in favor of authenticity. The interplay of silence and sound here speaks to the film's mastery in conveying emotional truth through cinematic language. Thematic analysis reveals the film's engagement with broader ideas about destiny, creativity, and the human need for connection. It invites reflection on how individual talents and passions are shaped by, and in turn shape, their environments. The narrative suggests that while fate may set the stage, it is personal choice and courage that compose the music of our lives. This interplay of determinism and free will resonates with philosophical traditions and invites diverse interpretations. Emotionally, the film's impact lies in its ability to balance the universal with the intimate. Its characters embody experiences that are both specific and archetypal, allowing audiences to find personal meaning within the story's larger framework. The film's pacing, visual style, and musical integration create an atmosphere that is both contemplative and uplifting, guiding viewers through moments of tension and release with sensitivity and artistry. Reception of the film reflects this complexity. Audiences have responded with enthusiasm to its emotional depth and musical beauty, often sharing stories of personal connection and inspiration. Critics have acknowledged its ambitious blending of fantasy and realism, praising its performances and technical achievements while engaging in debates about its narrative and thematic choices. This discourse enriches the film's legacy, positioning it as a work that invites ongoing conversation and reinterpretation. In conclusion, the significant events within the film serve as gateways to its deeper meanings, shaping its emotional and thematic landscape. Through masterful storytelling and artistic craftsmanship, the film transcends its narrative to become a meditation on music, love, and the threads that connect us. Its impact lies in this fusion of story and sound, inviting viewers to listen with open hearts and find within its melodies echoes of their own journeys. The making of this film was a journey as intricate and evocative as the story it tells, a fusion of artistry, technical prowess, and human endeavor that unfolded behind the scenes with its own rhythm and drama. Exploring the production insights and fun facts reveals not only the monumental scale of the project but also the intimate moments of creativity and serendipity that breathed life into every frame. It's a story of collaboration, challenge, and innovation, where passion for music and storytelling melded with the practical realities of filmmaking to create something truly memorable. At the heart of the production was a commitment to authenticity in portraying music as a living, breathing force. This commitment drove the filmmakers to assemble a team of accomplished musicians, composers, and sound engineers who would shape the film's auditory landscape with unparalleled care. The score, composed by a master in his field, was crafted to weave seamlessly into the narrative, enhancing the emotional arcs and underscoring the themes of connection and destiny. The process of composing and recording the music was itself an artistic journey, involving experimentation with styles and instruments to capture the film's unique sound. Casting choices reflected this dedication to musical authenticity. The young actor cast as August was not initially a trained musician, a decision that surprised many. However, his innate musical sensitivity and emotional expressiveness made him a perfect fit. To prepare for the role, he underwent intensive training to learn how to convincingly play instruments central to the story, including guitar and piano. This training extended beyond technical skills. It was about embodying the character's relationship with music as a language and lifeline. Directors and trainers worked closely with him, ensuring his performances felt natural and heartfelt. Filming took place in diverse urban environments that presented both opportunities and challenges. The bustling streets, subways, and concert halls of the city offered rich, dynamic backdrops, but their unpredictability required flexibility from the crew. One notable incident involved a street performance that unexpectedly attracted a large crowd during shooting, causing logistical challenges but also providing spontaneous energy that was embraced and incorporated into the film. Such moments highlight the film's organic connection to the living city, blurring the lines between staged narrative and real life. The production's visual design involved intricate set pieces and costume work that blended historical accuracy with artistic expression. Designers researched musical culture and urban aesthetics to create environments and wardrobes that felt authentic yet cinematic. Costumes were tailored not just for appearance but for functionality, allowing actors to move and perform comfortably during demanding musical scenes. The attention to detail extended to props and set dressing, with musicians' instruments carefully selected or crafted to reflect character and narrative needs. One of the most challenging aspects of production was coordinating the musical performances within the filming schedule. Achieving the right emotional tone and technical precision required numerous takes and rehearsals. Musicians and actors worked in close collaboration, navigating the intersection of live performance and cinematic storytelling. The director's approach encouraged spontaneity within structure, fostering moments of improvisation that enhanced the authenticity and vibrancy of the musical scenes. Sound recording was a complex endeavor, blending live on-set audio with studio recordings to capture the full spectrum of the film's sonic world. Foley artists contributed creatively, replicating the subtle noises of urban life and the tactile sounds of instruments with inventive methods. The layering of ambient sounds with musical performances created an immersive soundscape that draws viewers into the film's emotional landscape. The sound team's meticulous work ensured that every note and nuance resonated with clarity and depth. Editing the film's musical and narrative sequences was an artful balancing act. Editors worked closely with the director and composer to synchronize visuals and music, crafting pacing that heightened emotional impact while maintaining narrative coherence. The interplay between fast-paced city scenes and intimate musical moments required careful modulation, shaping the film's rhythm and flow. Several sequences underwent multiple revisions to achieve the desired balance, reflecting the collaborative nature of the process. Behind the scenes, the cast and crew developed a close-knit community, sharing the highs and lows of the demanding production. Long hours and emotional intensity were tempered by moments of levity and camaraderie. Anecdotes abound of impromptu musical jams, shared meals, and collective celebrations that fostered bonds and sustained morale. These human connections added depth to the creative process, infusing the film with a sense of shared purpose and passion. The film's director, known for his visionary approach and attention to emotional detail, played a central role in guiding the production. His leadership style combined meticulous planning with openness to creative input, encouraging collaboration across departments. He cultivated an environment where actors felt safe to explore vulnerability and where technicians were empowered to innovate. His dedication to capturing the emotional truth of the story ensured that every element, from performance to lighting, served the narrative's heart. Marketing the film posed unique challenges given its blend of fantasy, music, and drama. Promotional strategies emphasized the emotional and musical dimensions, leveraging trailers, live performances, and partnerships with musicians to build anticipation. The campaign aimed to reach diverse audiences, from music lovers to fans of heartfelt storytelling. This multifaceted approach contributed to the film's warm reception and enduring appeal. Trivia enthusiasts delight in discovering that several musical sequences were shot with vintage instruments, some painstakingly restored for authenticity. These instruments contributed unique tonal qualities that enriched the film's sound. The care taken in preserving and showcasing these historical artifacts reflects the production's deep respect for musical heritage. Another intriguing fact is the subtle use of color and light to reflect the film's emotional journey. Cinematographers employed warm, muted tones in scenes of loss and longing, shifting to brighter, more vibrant hues as characters move toward hope and reunion. This visual symbolism enhances narrative depth, inviting audiences to engage with the story on sensory and emotional levels. In summary, the production insights and fun facts surrounding this film reveal a creative process marked by dedication, innovation, and serendipity. From musical mastery to technical ingenuity, from the challenges of urban shooting to the intimacy of performance, every aspect was crafted with care and passion. These behind-the-scenes stories illuminate the human spirit behind the art, reminding us that the magic of cinema emerges from the collective heart of those who bring stories to life. The film's world is a living, breathing symphony of sound and sight, a vibrant stage where the sprawling cityscape itself becomes a central character, its rhythms and textures shaping the narrative and amplifying its emotional core. The settings and cinematic elements are not mere backdrops but integral threads woven deeply into the fabric of the story, imbuing every scene with atmosphere, meaning, and a palpable sense of place. To journey through this film is to be immersed in a city alive with contrasts, its grit and grandeur, its chaos and beauty, all captured through a lens that celebrates the poetry of urban life and the transcendent power of music. At the heart of the narrative lies the city, a sprawling urban labyrinth teeming with life and possibility. It is a city of intersections, where paths cross, stories entwine, and destinies are shaped. The filmmakers chose to shoot in locations that reflect the city's complexity and diversity, from crowded subway stations pulsing with the hum of daily commuters to quiet, sun-dappled parks where moments of reflection unfold. Each locale is meticulously crafted or selected to evoke specific moods and thematic resonances, inviting viewers to inhabit the city's multifaceted soul. The subway system, with its echoing tunnels and rushing trains, becomes a metaphor for the boy's journey, both a conduit and a barrier, a place of anonymity and connection. Cinematographers captured the interplay of light and shadow underground with striking contrasts, using chiaroscuro to evoke mystery and intimacy. The constant movement, the blur of faces and sounds, underscores themes of transition and the search for belonging. Scenes set in this subterranean world pulse with kinetic energy, the rhythmic clatter of trains mirroring the boy's heartbeat and musical quest. Above ground, the city's streets are depicted with a rich palette of colors and textures, the faded graffiti on brick walls, the flicker of neon signs, the interplay of sun and shadow through towering skyscrapers. These urban landscapes serve as a canvas for the unfolding drama, their details inviting close observation. Sidewalks crowded with street performers, markets bursting with life, and quiet alleys hidden from the bustle all contribute to a sense of layered reality. The city's dual nature, as place of opportunity and challenge, of beauty and hardship, is rendered with cinematic nuance. Concert halls and performance venues offer a stark contrast to the city's rawness. Here, the settings are suffused with elegance and controlled light, reflecting the formal world of classical music and the refined artistry of the protagonist's mother. The opulent architecture, plush seating, and focused spotlights create an atmosphere charged with anticipation and emotion. These spaces are not just physical but symbolic arenas where personal and artistic triumphs unfold. Cinematography in these scenes often employs sweeping tracking shots and soft focus to emphasize grandeur and emotional intensity. The film's visual design extends beyond location to incorporate elements of lighting and color that shape mood and tone. Lighting choices are deliberate and expressive. Warm golden hues bathe scenes of hope and connection, while cooler, muted tones color moments of loss and isolation. The contrast between natural daylight and artificial illumination reflects the tension between reality and dream, the mundane and the magical. The use of backlighting and silhouettes often frames characters in moments of introspection, underscoring their emotional landscapes. Camera work is a vital tool in immersing audiences in the film's world. Fluid, handheld shots follow the protagonist's movement through crowded streets and intimate moments, creating immediacy and intimacy. Wide-angle lenses capture the scale and diversity of the urban environment, situating characters within vast, bustling spaces that both dwarf and define them. The cinematographer employs a mix of static compositions and dynamic movements to balance stillness and motion, mirroring the film's themes of searching and transformation. The interplay of sound and image enhances the sensory experience. The ambient noise of the city, conversations, footsteps, traffic, blends seamlessly with the film's musical score, creating layers of auditory texture. Moments of silence or near silence punctuate scenes of emotional weight, focusing attention on visual details and facial expressions. The careful integration of diegetic and non-diegetic sound reinforces the narrative's emotional rhythms, guiding viewers through the protagonist's inner and outer worlds. Symbolism is embedded in the settings and visual motifs, enriching the film's thematic depth. The city's labyrinthine layout reflects the protagonist's complex path, full of twists, dead ends, and serendipitous turns. Light and shadow play serve as metaphors for knowledge and mystery, presence and absence. Musical instruments, prominently featured in various environments, become symbols of identity, communication, and connection. The recurring motif of bridges, both literal and metaphorical, illustrates the theme of crossing divides and forging bonds. Costume and production design contribute to the storytelling by visually articulating character and theme. The contrast between the worn, practical clothing of street life and the refined attire of concert settings highlights social and emotional divides. Changes in the protagonist's wardrobe parallel his growth and evolving sense of self, marking his journey from orphaned wanderer to confident artist. Attention to detail in fabrics, colors, and accessories adds layers of meaning and authenticity. The film's pacing and editing shape the viewer's emotional engagement with the settings. Longer takes allow the city's ambience to settle, inviting contemplation and immersion, while rapid cuts energize scenes of urgency and movement. The editing rhythm mirrors the ebb and flow of the protagonist's experiences, from moments of quiet reflection to bursts of discovery and connection. Critical reception of the film often highlights its masterful use of setting and cinematography to create an immersive, emotionally resonant world. Reviewers praise the visual storytelling for capturing the city's dual nature, the juxtaposition of beauty and grit, anonymity and intimacy, and for using light and color to amplify the narrative's emotional currents. The film's ability to transform urban landscapes into poetic, almost dreamlike spaces contributes significantly to its lasting impact. In essence, the film's settings and cinematic elements form a rich, layered canvas that invites viewers to lose themselves in a world where music and place are inseparable. The city, with all its contrasts and complexities, becomes a metaphor for the protagonist's inner journey and the universal quest for connection and belonging. Through thoughtful composition, lighting, sound, and design, the film creates an atmosphere that is at once tangible and transcendent, a visual and auditory symphony that resonates long after the final scene. The making of this film was a journey as layered and nuanced as the story it tells, a dance of creativity, endurance, and unexpected moments that unfolded away from the camera's eye but left an indelible mark on the final work. Behind the carefully crafted scenes and soaring melodies lies a tapestry of human stories. Moments of laughter, frustration, camaraderie, and determination that brought the film's magic to life. To understand the full heart of this cinematic endeavor, one must look beyond the script and the screen into the very spaces where cast and crew converged, collaborated, and sometimes clashed in the pursuit of something extraordinary. From the earliest days of pre-production, it was clear that music would be the soul of this film, and capturing its essence required a unique approach. The director, known for his meticulous attention to emotional detail, insisted on authenticity not only in the performances but in the very way music was integrated into the filmmaking process. This vision meant assembling a team of accomplished musicians, composers, and music coaches who would work closely with actors, ensuring that every note carried the weight of narrative and feeling. One fun and surprising story from this phase involved a late-night jam session in the studio, where the lead actor, still a novice musician, played alongside seasoned professionals. The atmosphere was electric, filled with encouragement and occasional bursts of laughter when mistakes turned into impromptu moments of creativity. The casting of the young protagonist brought its own set of challenges and delights. Though not initially trained in music, the actor's natural sensitivity and emotional range made him a perfect fit. His intensive training schedule included hours of daily practice on piano, guitar, and other instruments. One behind-the-scenes anecdote recalls how, during a particularly grueling rehearsal, the actor managed to play an entire complex piece flawlessly, only to immediately burst into giggles when he realized the director had accidentally been watching a playback of an earlier, less polished take. Moments like these bonded the cast and crew, blending professionalism with the joys of discovery. Filming in the urban environments that form the film's backdrop was a double-edged sword. The city's vibrancy lent authenticity and energy, but its unpredictability required flexibility and quick thinking. On one occasion, the crew was shooting a crucial scene on a busy subway platform when a spontaneous street performance erupted nearby, drawing a large crowd that threatened to disrupt the carefully planned schedule. Instead of trying to control the chaos, the director chose to incorporate the energy into the scene, capturing a moment that added unexpected texture and realism to the film. Such instances became emblematic of the production's adaptive spirit. The mentor character, portrayed by an actor with a rich and unconventional background, brought a layer of complexity to the set's dynamic. Known for his intensity and depth, he often immersed himself deeply in character between takes, sometimes creating a charged atmosphere that other cast members found both challenging and inspiring. Stories circulate of late-night conversations between him and the young lead, where philosophical discussions about art, survival, and identity blurred the line between performance and real life. These interactions infused the film's emotional core with authenticity and gravity. The demands of musical performance on set presented unique logistical hurdles. Scenes requiring live playing had to balance the precision of performance with the practicalities of camera movement and lighting. Musicians and actors rehearsed extensively, sometimes for days, to synchronize their actions perfectly. The sound department employed innovative techniques to capture the richness of the music while accommodating ambient noise and spatial acoustics. One memorable challenge involved a scene filmed in a cavernous concert hall where echoes threatened to muddle the sound. The solution came through creative microphone placement and post-production wizardry. Costume and production design teams worked hand in hand to ensure that wardrobe choices reflected character development and thematic nuance while allowing freedom of movement for musicians and actors. The young actor's costumes evolved to mirror his journey, from humble orphanage attire to the elegant yet practical clothing of a performing artist. Designers often experimented with fabrics and cuts to strike a balance between historical plausibility and cinematic expression. Anecdotes from the wardrobe department reveal moments of last-minute adjustments and creative problem-solving that saved critical scenes from delays. The editing room was a crucible of creativity and patience. Editors faced the challenge of weaving together complex musical sequences with narrative pacing, ensuring that each scene's emotional tone was supported and enhanced by visual rhythm. Collaborative sessions with the director and composer often involved spirited debates and multiple revisions. One notable story recounts a sequence where a particular cut was changed after the director experienced a moment of inspiration during a late-night walk, illustrating how ideas flowed organically throughout the production. The camaraderie among cast and crew was a vital component of the film's spirit. Long shooting days were punctuated by shared meals, impromptu music sessions, and moments of humor that forged bonds beyond professional obligations. These relationships fostered an environment where vulnerability was embraced and creativity flourished. Several cast members have spoken fondly of how these connections sustained them through the physical and emotional demands of filming. Challenges abounded, from technical setbacks to weather disruptions, but the team's resilience was unwavering. One particularly difficult sequence involved shooting in an outdoor location where unexpected rain threatened to halt production. Rather than reschedule, the director adapted the scene to incorporate the rain's mood, turning a potential setback into a visually and emotionally powerful moment. Such adaptability exemplified the production's ethos, embracing imperfection as a pathway to authenticity. In essence, the behind-the-scenes stories reveal a production defined by its blend of artistry and humanity. The process of creating this film was as much about the people who made it as the story it tells, a collective effort marked by passion, ingenuity, and the joy of shared creation. These insights deepen our appreciation, reminding us that cinema's magic arises not only from what we see and hear on screen, but from the countless moments of collaboration, challenge, and inspiration that bring a story to life. The film unfolds as a delicate dance of sound and silence, weaving a narrative rich with themes that echo through every frame, every note, every fleeting glance. At its heart lies a meditation on connection, between people, between past and present, between the seen and the unseen. It explores the invisible threads that bind us, the yearning for belonging that shapes our journeys, and the transformative power of art to reveal truths words cannot capture. The themes pulse like a melody beneath the surface, guiding the story's emotional current and inviting viewers into a deeper dialogue with the characters and their world. One of the film's most resonant themes is the idea of destiny and the unseen forces that shape our lives. From the moment the protagonist is born into separation, his life is portrayed as a symphony conducted by fate, each encounter, each note, part of a grander composition. This theme is beautifully embodied in the motif of music as a universal language, a force that transcends time and distance. Music becomes the thread that weaves through the narrative, connecting characters who are physically apart but spiritually intertwined. It suggests that while life's paths may seem random or fractured, there is an underlying harmony that draws us together, urging us toward reunion and understanding. Closely linked is the theme of identity and the quest for self-discovery. The young protagonist's journey is as much inward as outward, a search not only for his lost parents but for his own voice and place in the world. His extraordinary gift of hearing music where others hear only noise symbolizes a heightened sensitivity to the world's deeper rhythms. Through his eyes and ears, the film invites reflection on how our talents, passions, and histories shape our sense of self. The narrative acknowledges that identity is often fragmented and complex, forged in the interplay of memory, loss, and hope. Family and belonging form another cornerstone of the film's thematic structure. The separation of the boy from his parents creates a poignant tension that drives the emotional arc. Yet the story is careful not to idealize reunion. Instead, it presents family as a multifaceted concept, one that encompasses absence and presence, blood ties, and chosen bonds. Through the relationships the protagonist forms on the street and with his mentor, the film expands the idea of family to include those we find along our journeys, highlighting the resilience of human connection in all its forms. Loss and hope are intertwined throughout the narrative, creating a delicate balance between grief and the possibility of healing. The characters carry wounds of separation, betrayal, and longing that color their lives and choices. Yet, these wounds also fuel their courage and creativity, propelling them forward. The film's portrayal of hope is neither naive nor sentimental. It is portrayed as a fragile, flickering light that requires nurturing and faith to sustain. Moments of silence, reflection, and musical expression become spaces where hope can emerge from despair. The theme of music itself operates on multiple levels: literal, symbolic, and metaphysical. Literally, it is the protagonist's gift and the language through which much of the story unfolds. Symbolically, music represents harmony amidst chaos, a means of communication that transcends language and cultural barriers. It is the invisible force that connects disparate lives and stories. Metaphysically, the film gestures toward music as a cosmic principle, the rhythm underlying existence itself. This layering invites viewers to experience music not just as entertainment but as a profound metaphor for life's interconnectedness. Symbolism permeates the film's visual and narrative elements, enriching the story's layers and inviting interpretation. The city, with its labyrinthine streets and diverse inhabitants, functions as a symbol of the journey, both physical and spiritual. Its contrasts, light and shadow, noise and silence, isolation and community, mirror the protagonist's inner landscape and the film's thematic tensions. The subway, with its tunnels and trains, becomes a metaphor for transition and passage, a place where moments of chance can alter destinies. Musical instruments themselves carry symbolic weight. The cello, central to the mother's identity, symbolizes depth, emotion, and the voice of longing. The guitar, embraced by the father and mentor, represents freedom, storytelling, and the raw pulse of life. The protagonist's interactions with these instruments mark stages of his growth and connection. The act of playing music is portrayed as both creation and communication, a ritual that bridges divides and heals wounds. Light and color are used deliberately to underscore themes and emotions. Warm golden hues evoke moments of hope, connection, and revelation, while cooler blues and grays color scenes of loss and uncertainty. The interplay of light and shadow often frames characters in moments of introspection or transformation, visually articulating their emotional states. This cinematic symbolism deepens the narrative, offering a sensory pathway into the story's heart. Water imagery also appears as a subtle motif, symbolizing cleansing, renewal, and the flow of life. Scenes featuring rain, rivers, or reflections on water surfaces carry a poetic resonance, marking transitions or moments of clarity. This elemental symbolism aligns with the film's themes of rebirth and the ongoing cycle of separation and reunion. The relationships among characters embody thematic ideas in living form. The bond between the protagonist and his mentor encapsulates the tension between guidance and control, freedom and constraint. Their dynamic reflects broader themes of trust, power, and the challenges of artistic development. The fractured family, mother, father, and son, embodies themes of separation and the enduring longing for wholeness. Through their interactions, the film explores the complexities of forgiveness, hope, and the reconstruction of identity. Emotionally, the film invites audiences into a space of reflection and empathy. Its pacing allows moments of silence and music to breathe, encouraging viewers to listen not only with ears but with hearts. The subtle performances convey a spectrum of feeling, joy, sorrow, yearning, without resorting to melodrama. This emotional restraint enhances authenticity and invites personal engagement. Critical perspectives on the film often highlight its thematic ambition and symbolic richness. Scholars and reviewers note how it transcends a simple narrative of lost and found to engage with universal questions about human connection, the nature of art, and the search for meaning. Its blending of realism and fantasy, music and narrative, creates a layered experience that rewards attentive and repeated viewing. Ultimately, the film's themes and symbolism work in concert to transform its story into a meditation on the human condition, a reminder that beneath the surface noise of life lie harmonies waiting to be heard, that loss can give way to hope, and that through creativity and love, we find our way home. Through its characters and imagery, it calls us to listen deeply, to the music around us and within us, and to recognize the invisible threads that bind us all. The journey of crafting this film was itself a symphony of meticulous artistry and inventive technique, a convergence of cinematic craftsmanship and musical sensibility that sought to envelop the audience in a world where sound and image danced in perfect harmony. Every choice made behind the camera, every note captured in the soundscape, and every frame composed by the cinematographer was carefully orchestrated to serve not only the narrative but the emotional heartbeat of the story. The filmmaking techniques employed went beyond mere technical execution. They became instruments of storytelling that shaped the film's atmosphere and heightened the viewer's immersion in its poetic world. In sum, the film's filmmaking techniques and box office production are a testament to the power of cinematic craft in service of storytelling. Through thoughtful choices in cinematography, sound, editing, and design, the filmmakers created a world that is at once tangible and transcendent, a place where music and image converge to touch the heart and awaken the imagination. This synthesis of art and technique invites viewers into a richly textured experience, one that resonates long after the final note and frame fade away. The heartbeat of this film pulses most vividly through the souls who breathed life into its characters, the cast whose performances carry the emotional weight, the interviews that reveal the personal journeys behind the roles, and the audience whose responses complete the story's circle. This is a tale not only of a narrative woven on screen, but of the people who made it real and those who carried its echoes long after the credits rolled. Their voices, experiences, and reflections form a rich tapestry that deepens our understanding and appreciation of the film's enduring power. At the center stands the young actor portraying the protagonist, a boy whose extraordinary gift and profound innocence anchor the story's emotional core. Cast not initially for musical prowess but for raw sensitivity and authenticity, his journey from newcomer to musical prodigy was itself a narrative of discovery. In interviews, he recounts the challenges and exhilarations of embodying a character so deeply intertwined with music and emotion. His reflections reveal a profound connection to the character's quest for identity and belonging, a theme that resonated with his own experiences of growth and self-discovery. He speaks candidly about the intensive musical training that shaped his performance, emphasizing how learning to play instruments was not just a technical exercise but a pathway into the character's soul. The actress portraying the mother, a gifted cellist whose life is marked by loss and hope, offers a portrait of grace and emotional depth. Her interviews reveal a thoughtful engagement with the character's complex inner world, the balancing act of artistic dedication and maternal yearning. She describes her preparation as both physical and emotional, involving studying the nuances of cello performance and delving into the psychology of grief and resilience. Her portrayal is informed by a personal passion for music and a commitment to conveying the quiet strength and vulnerability of a mother separated from her child. Her conversations often touch on the film's themes of connection and the redemptive power of art, highlighting how those themes transcend the screen to touch the human experience. The actor playing the father brings a contrasting yet complementary energy, a street musician whose passion and yearning infuse the narrative with raw authenticity. In interviews, he reflects on the challenges of portraying a character whose world is shaped by hardship and hope. He shares insights into how his own background informed his approach, allowing him to channel the gritty realism and emotional openness necessary for the role. His guitar playing, central to the character's identity, became a mode of storytelling that required both technical skill and emotional truth. The actor's reflections underscore the film's exploration of music as a bridge between worlds and people. The mentor figure, a complex character who embodies both guidance and control, adds a layer of tension and depth to the narrative. The actor's interviews reveal his process of inhabiting a role fraught with moral ambiguity and emotional complexity. He speaks about the challenges of portraying a character who is both protector and exploiter, a man shaped by circumstance and survival instinct. His interactions with the young lead actor are highlighted as a dynamic that required careful navigation, balancing authority with empathy. These behind-the-scenes insights illuminate the human dimension of performance, where the relationship between actors mirrors the complexities of their characters. Supporting cast members, from the orphanage staff to street performers, contribute vital textures that enrich the story's world. Their interviews often reveal a shared sense of camaraderie and commitment to authenticity, with many discussing how the film's themes resonated personally. Stories of on-set interactions, improvisations, and collective problem-solving paint a picture of a collaborative environment where every voice mattered. These narratives emphasize the communal nature of filmmaking and the ways in which the cast became a found family, mirroring the film's exploration of connection. Audience reception provides a living dialogue that extends the film's impact beyond the screen. From its initial release, viewers responded with enthusiasm and emotional engagement, drawn by the film's blend of heartfelt storytelling and musical beauty. Letters, online reviews, and fan forums reveal a spectrum of responses, some moved by the universal themes of loss and hope, others inspired by the portrayal of music as a language of the soul. Many recount personal stories of how the film touched their lives, whether through its depiction of family, the pursuit of dreams, or the healing power of art. Critics praised the cast's performances as central to the film's success. Reviews highlight the young lead's naturalism and emotional authenticity, noting how his portrayal anchors the film's narrative and emotional arcs. The adult leads are lauded for their nuanced performances, bringing depth and subtlety to roles that could have easily fallen into cliché. The mentor's portrayal receives recognition for its complexity, avoiding simplistic villainy and adding moral texture. These assessments affirm the film's strength as a character-driven work, where acting serves as a conduit for thematic exploration. Beyond critical acclaim, the film fostered a community of viewers who embraced its messages and shared their reflections. Screenings often became spaces of collective experience, where audiences connected over shared emotions and insights. The film's music inspired some viewers to pursue artistic endeavors, illustrating its capacity to motivate and uplift. These audience interactions highlight the reciprocal relationship between film and viewer, where meaning is co-created and continually renewed. The cast's reflections years after filming offer poignant insights into the lasting impact of the project. The young lead speaks of the role as a formative experience, shaping his artistic identity and personal growth. The adult actors recall the intensity of the production and the bonds formed, emphasizing how the film's themes continue to resonate in their lives. These retrospectives add a layer of depth to the film's legacy, revealing how storytelling extends beyond the screen into the lives of those who bring it to life. Behind the scenes, the dynamic between cast and crew was marked by mutual respect and shared passion. Stories of late-night rehearsals, collaborative problem-solving, and moments of spontaneous creativity reveal an environment where artistry flourished amid the pressures of production. These narratives underscore the human heart of filmmaking, a collective endeavor driven by dedication, inspiration, and sometimes sheer grit. At the core of the film's visual identity is the cinematography, a masterful blend of light, color, and movement that captures the city's dual nature as both a place of stark reality and dreamlike possibility. The director of photography employed a palette that shifts with the emotional contours of the narrative, from the muted, cooler tones that color scenes of loss and isolation, to warm, golden hues that bathe moments of connection and hope. This deliberate use of color temperature not only reflects the protagonist's internal journey, but also creates a sensory rhythm that guides the audience's emotional response. Camera work is equally expressive, varying fluidly between intimate close-ups and expansive wide shots that reveal the city's vibrant tapestry. Handheld cameras follow the protagonist through bustling streets and crowded subway platforms, capturing the kinetic energy of urban life and the boy's experience within it. These dynamic movements create immediacy and empathy, placing viewers in the midst of the action and emotional flow. In contrast, steadier, more composed shots are reserved for moments of introspection and performance, allowing the music and the characters' emotions to resonate fully. This interplay between motion and stillness mirrors the film's themes of chaos and harmony. One of the film's technical triumphs lies in its integration of musical performances within the cinematic framework. Rather than treating music as an accompaniment, the filmmakers wove it into the narrative fabric, making it a living, breathing character. Filming live musical scenes required innovative approaches to both sound and camera. Microphone placements were carefully designed to capture the nuances of acoustic instruments amid ambient urban noise. Sound engineers blended on-set recordings with studio overdubs, creating a seamless auditory experience that feels both authentic and cinematic. The editing process played a pivotal role in shaping the film's rhythm and emotional pacing. Editors worked closely with the director and composer to synchronize visual cuts with musical cues, crafting sequences where camera movement and music coalesce into a unified expression. The pacing varies thoughtfully, with rapid cuts amplifying moments of urgency and discovery, while longer takes allow emotional beats to unfold organically. This delicate balance ensures that the film maintains momentum without sacrificing depth or nuance. Lighting design further enriches the atmosphere, utilizing both natural and artificial sources to sculpt mood and focus. Scenes set in concert halls and performance venues employ controlled, dramatic lighting to highlight the emotional intensity of music making. In outdoor and street settings, the filmmakers harnessed the interplay of sunlight and shadow, using the city's architecture and weather to create evocative visual textures. This approach not only grounds the film in realism but also elevates its poetic qualities. The use of visual symbolism extends into framing and composition. Mirrors, reflections, and layered imagery are employed to suggest themes of duality and hidden connections. The careful arrangement of elements within the frame invites viewers to discover meaning beyond the immediate action, encouraging a deeper engagement with the film's motifs. For instance, shots that juxtapose the protagonist's solitary figure against the sprawling cityscape underscore his isolation yet hint at the invisible networks that link him to others. Sound design is a cornerstone of the film's sensory impact. Beyond the musical score, the auditory environment is meticulously crafted to immerse the audience in the protagonist's heightened perception of sound. Ambient noises, the clatter of trains, murmurs of crowds, rustle of leaves, are layered and balanced to create a rich soundscape that complements the visual storytelling. Moments of silence or near silence punctuate key scenes, heightening tension and focusing attention on performance or character expression. The musical score itself is a work of art, composed to reflect the film's thematic and emotional arcs. Employing a blend of classical and contemporary elements, the music weaves through the narrative like a thread of memory and hope. Leitmotifs associated with characters and ideas recur throughout, creating continuity and resonance. The score's dynamics mirror the story's ebb and flow, moving from delicate whispers to soaring crescendos that envelop viewers in the protagonist's world. Special effects and post-production techniques were used sparingly but effectively to enhance the film's dreamlike qualities. Subtle visual effects underscore moments where reality blurs with imagination, such as sequences where music seems to animate the environment or where the city's sounds coalesce into tangible forms. These effects are integrated seamlessly, supporting the narrative without overwhelming the film's grounded emotional core. The film's production design and art direction contribute significantly to its atmospheric depth. Detailed sets and locations were selected and dressed to reflect character and theme, from the stark interiors of the orphanage to the ornate spaces of concert halls. Props, including musical instruments and personal artifacts, are chosen for their symbolic weight as well as authenticity. This attention to detail creates a tactile world that invites close observation and emotional investment. From a production standpoint, the film navigated challenges inherent in shooting on location within a busy urban environment. The crew adapted to unpredictable weather, ambient noise, and logistical complexities, often devising creative solutions to maintain continuity and artistic vision. These efforts are evident in the film's fluid integration of city life, lending a documentary-like immediacy alongside cinematic polish. The box office production reflected the film's ambitious scope and artistic aspirations. With a budget allocated toward elaborate set pieces, musical talent, and location shoots, the project represented a significant investment in crafting a cinematic experience that melded narrative and musical storytelling. Marketing strategies emphasized the film's emotional depth and musical brilliance, targeting audiences seeking both heartfelt drama and sensory immersion. The release was accompanied by live musical events and collaborations that extended the film's presence beyond the screen, engaging audiences in multifaceted ways. Critically, the film's technical achievements were lauded alongside its narrative and performances. Reviewers highlighted the seamless fusion of music and image as a defining strength, praising the cinematography's ability to capture the city's pulse and the editing's role in shaping an immersive rhythm. The sound design and score were recognized for their emotional power and innovative integration. These elements collectively created an atmosphere that elevates the story from mere tale to sensory journey. Audience reception reflected the success of these filmmaking techniques in creating a deeply affecting experience. Viewers frequently cited the film's ability to transport them into its world through vivid visuals and compelling sound, fostering a strong emotional connection. The film's immersive qualities inspired repeat viewings and discussions, contributing to its enduring cultural presence.